Hi, I'm Tina, and this is the Sisterhood Sleuths podcast, created by Cathy Warshaw of Secret Societies and the Sisterhood Sleuths, where we don't just accept what we're told, we question it, because secrets are everywhere, and curiosity is the key. So let me ask you this. Have you ever known something before you could explain it? Not guessed, not assumed, known. That quiet moment where something inside you says, this isn't right, or this matters. And you don't have proof yet. You don't have the full answer, but you feel it. That feeling? That's instinct in your gut. Most people don't trust it. They question it. They doubt it. Then push it away. Because you don't have any proof. It just shows up. And that makes people uncomfortable. Because we're taught to trust what we can explain, what we can clearly see. But instinct doesn't work like that. It works faster. It notices patterns before your brain has time to explain them. And that's why it's powerful. But it's also why people ignore it. Let's slow this down. Imagine you walk into a situation. Everything looks normal. Everything sounds normal. But something feels off. You can't point to it. You can't explain it. You just feel it. Most people stop right there. They tell themselves, it's nothing. I'm overthinking. There's no reason to feel this way. And they move on. But what if that feeling is the reason? What if your brain noticed something before you had time to understand it? That's what instinct does. It connects patterns, past experiences, small details all at once, without needing to explain it first. Now imagine Chloe in that moment. She doesn't ignore that feeling. She pauses. Not in a big way, not emotionally, just enough to notice it. Because she understands something important. Instinct isn't random. It comes from somewhere. From everything you've seen, everything you've experienced, everything you've learned. It's your brain working in the background, faster than your thoughts. Now, Lily would handle it differently. She wouldn't just feel it. She would track it. When does it happen? What triggered it? Does it happen again? Because instinct becomes stronger when you understand it, not when you ignore it. Now think about this. Have you ever ignored your instinct and later realized you were right? That feeling? That's not luck. That's recognition. Recognition that you noticed something, even if you didn't understand it yet. And that's what most people miss. They think instinct is guessing, but it's not. It's processing. Fast, quiet, below the surface. Now let's bring in Gil. Gil trusts instinct, but not blindly. He uses it as a signal, not a final answer. If something feels off, he doesn't react right away. He looks deeper. Because instinct shows you where to look, not what the answer is. That's the difference. Now let's make this real. You meet someone, everything seems fine, but something about them feels off. You can't explain it. Nothing looks wrong, but the feeling is there. What do? Most people ignore it. They focus on what they can see, what they can prove, and they push the feeling away. But that feeling, that's a clue. Not proof, but direction. Something didn't match, and your instinct noticed it before your brain could explain it. Now let's talk about something important, fear. Because people often confuse fear with instinct, but they are not the same. Fear is loud. It rushes. It jumps to conclusions. Instinct is quiet. It doesn't panic. It doesn't rush. It simply says, this matters. That's where people get confused. They think, I don't want to overreact, so they ignore the instinct completely, instead of understanding it. Now, Yuki would look at this differently. She treats instinct like information, not emotional, useful. If something doesn't match, she notices it. She tracks it. She looks for proof over time. Because instinct alone isn't enough. But instinct plus observation? That's powerful. Now let's go deeper. Instinct doesn't come from nowhere. It builds over time, from your experiences, from patterns you've seen before, from details you didn't even realize you noticed. That's why two people can be in the same situation and feel completely different things, because their experiences are different. Their patterns are different. Their instincts are different. Now, May would go deeper. She would ask, what is my instinct reacting to? Because there is always a reason, even if you don't see it yet. And if you stay with it, observe it, that reason becomes clear. Now let's bring this back to you. You felt this way before. That quiet signal, that moment where something didn't feel right. And now, you're starting to understand it differently. Not something to ignore, something to explore. That's the shift. From pushing instinct away to respecting it. Not blindly, but smartly. Because instinct is not the answer. It's the beginning. And once you understand that, everything changes. In part 2, we go deeper into how to tell the difference between instinct and overthinking. Because not every feeling is a signal, but the right ones can change everything. Now, let's go further. Because understanding instinct means knowing what it is and what it is not. This is where people get confused. They feel something, and they ask, is this instinct, or am I overthinking? That question matters, because not every feeling is real information. Some are fear, some are imagination, some are just noise. So how do you tell the difference? You don't guess, you observe. Instinct is quiet. It doesn't repeat over and over. It shows up once, clear, simple, and then it's gone. Overthinking is different. It's loud. It repeats. It creates stories. What if this? What if that? It keeps going. That's not instinct. That's your brain trying to control uncertainty. Now imagine this. Something feels off. Your instinct says, this doesn't feel right. That's it. One signal. Then your brain jumps in. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstood. And now the noise begins. That's the difference. Instinct is first. Everything after that is interpretation. Now, Chloe understands this naturally. She doesn't ignore the first signal, but she doesn't act on it right away either. She pauses. Because instinct is direction, not a conclusion. Lily would hold on to that signal, not push it away, not rush it, just hold it. Because when you give instinct space, it becomes clearer. Not louder, clearer. Now let's talk about fear again. Because fear often pretends to be instinct. Fear says something bad will happen. Instinct says something doesn't match. Fear rushes you. Instinct slows you down. That's how you tell the difference. Now Gil would test instinct. If something feels off, he looks for patterns. Does it happen again? Do the details match the feeling? Because instinct gets stronger when it matches what you see. Now let's talk about time. Instinct appears fast, but understanding it takes time. If you rush it, you get it wrong. If you ignore it, you lose it. But if you stay with it, you understand it. Now Yuki treats instinct like data. She doesn't jump to answers. She watches, because one signal isn't enough. But repeated signals? That's information. Now May asks, what caused this? Because instinct reacts to something real, even if you don't see it yet. And if you slow down, you can find it. That's when instinct becomes understanding. Now let's bring this back to you. You feel something. Instead of ignoring it, pause. Ask, what am I noticing? Not, what does this mean? That comes later. First, you observe, and slowly, the picture becomes clear. Now here's something powerful. The more you trust your instinct, the stronger it becomes, because you're training it. Over time, it becomes clearer, faster, more accurate. Now, Aoife would remind you, instinct is part of a pattern. It connects to everything you've seen before. And when you see those connections, you don't just feel instinct, you understand it. That's where you're going. Not guessing, understanding. Now here's the final step. What do you do with it? Because feeling instinct is one thing. Using it is something else. Now you understand something powerful. Instinct is not something to ignore and not something to blindly follow. It's something to use. Let's go back to that moment. You feel something, quiet, clear. This doesn't feel right. Now what? Most people ignore it or react emotionally. Both are mistakes. Instead, you stay with it. You observe. You act with awareness. Not fear, awareness. Chloe would adjust, quietly. Ask a better question, look closer, stay aware. Lily would connect it to patterns. Gil would turn it into strategy. And that's the shift, from reacting to preparing. You don't need certainty, you need clarity. And clarity comes from awareness. Now bring this back to you. You feel something, you pause, you ask, what doesn't match? And then you adjust. Maybe small, but powerful. Because now, you're not reacting, you're choosing. And that changes everything. Because awareness leads to better decisions. And better decisions change outcomes. That's not luck, that's skill. Now here's the truth. You won't always get it right. But you will get better, faster, clearer, stronger. Because you're building trust in yourself. Not blind trust, smart trust. And once you have that, you become harder to mislead, harder to confuse, harder to control. Because you see, and seeing is power. So the next time you feel that quiet signal, don't ignore it, don't rush it, stay with it. Because instinct is your mind showing you something before you understand it. And if you listen, you'll always be one step ahead. This week's mission is trust the first signal. As you go through your day, notice your first instinct, the feeling you get before you start explaining things away. It might be a quick reaction in a conversation, a moment where something doesn't add up, or a quiet feeling about a decision. Don't ignore it. Pause and notice it. Ask yourself, what did I feel first? What did I start telling myself after? Did I change my mind to make things easier? You're not trying to prove anything. You're learning to recognize that your instincts notice patterns faster than your thoughts. This week, your job is simple. Catch the first signal before you talk yourself out of it. Next episode, we'll go deeper with the question that changes everything. Until then, this is the Sisterhood Sleuth podcast, and I'm Tina, reminding you to stay curious, stay aware, and remember, secrets are everywhere. Curiosity is the key.
This episode was brought to you by Secret Societies and the Sisterhood Sleuths, an award-winning mystery adventure franchise featuring books, podcasts, music, educational programs, puzzles, and a global community for curious minds. Join the conversation with fellow sleuths right now in our official Goodreads Mystery Club. Learn more at sisterhoodsleuths.net.